Hi guys, today we're going over the second grade worksheet for lesson 28. So we're going to be starting with written form for numbers. So the directions say to write the number from written form to standard form. So we have the numbers given to us in written form here, and we're going to write them in standard form, which is just with the regular numbers. So let's start with our first example. We have number 3, and the written form of the number is 3. What a coincidence. But we're going to write the number 3, and we know that this is the number 3. Let's go on to number 4. The written form of the number is 127. So we're going to write that number exactly here, 100. So we have 3 place values and then 27. So we have 27. That's the number, 127, and this is how it's written out. Let's go over number 9. The written form is 811. So we're going to write 800. And we know that there are 3 place values now because it's in the hundreds. And then the next number is 11. So we're just going to write 11 right here. 811. And that's basically how you solve this. You're just going to read out the number and then write it exactly in this number form. Now let's go over subtraction. Let's first go over our first example, number 4. We have 400 minus 30, so let's rewrite that right here. Make sure to line up your ones place right here, tens place, and then hundreds place. So let's start with our ones place. We have 0 minus 0, and we know that's just 0. And then let's go into our tens place. We have 0 minus 3. Since we can't do 0 minus 3, you can't take away 3 from something you have nothing of, we're going to regroup a 10, or because we're in the tens place, we're going to regroup a 100 and bring that 10 to here. Now we have 10 minus 3, which is 7. And then we have 3 minus nothing, or 3 minus 0, which equals 3. So 400 minus 30 equals 370. If you want to check your answer, just add these two numbers up together. Let's add the 30 to the 370 to make sure we get 400. 0 plus 0 equals 0. 7 plus 3 equals 10. Regroup, 1 plus 3 equals 4. And we got this number right here, so we know that we did our work right. Let's go over number 9 now. We have 500 minus 397. Make sure that the ones place right here, 0 minus 7, is aligned, and the tens place, 0 and 9, and then the hundreds place, 5 and 3, right here. Now we can subtract. We know that we lined up our numbers correctly. So here we have 0 minus 7. Since you can't take away 0 from something you have nothing of, you're going to have to regroup. But if you look here, you can't take away 1 from 0. You can't take away 1 10 from 0 tens. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to move over to here. So we moved over to here to take a 10. Since there's no tens we can take away, we're going to move over to the hundreds place. Right here, we have 5 minus 3. And we're going to take away a 10. Now we have 4, or take away 100. Now we have 4 hundreds, and we're going to move that into 10 tens right here. 10 minus 9. But we're focusing on this right here, 0 minus 7. So let's take away, again, now 10 minus 1 equals 9. I'm going to bring that over here. So what we did was we took a hundreds place. We took 100 from the hundreds place, and we moved it over to the tens. And from the tens, we took away 110, moved it over to the ones place. So now we have 10 minus 7, which equals 3. Then if we look into the tens place, we have, I'll use this highlighter, 9 minus 9 right here. 9 minus 9. that equals 0. And then in the hundreds place, we have 4 minus 3, which equals 1. So the answer to 500 minus 397 equals 103. Again, if you want to check your answers, you're just going to add these two numbers up together, or basically these two numbers up together. Let's just add like this. 7 plus 3 equals 10, regroup. We have 1 plus 9, which equals 10. We're going to regroup again. 1 plus 3 equals 4. 4 plus 1 equals 5. You can stop and slow down the video and try checking it on your own. But now we know that we got the right answer. Now let's actually go over one last question. Let's go over number 15. 939 minus 70. We have our ones place, our tens place, and our hundreds place. So in the ones place, we have 9 minus 0, which equals 9. The tens place, we have 3 minus 7. Again, since we can't take away 7 if we only have 3, we're going to regroup, take a hundreds, and move that 1 we took away into the tens place. Now we have 13 minus 7, which equals 6. And then we have 8 minus 0, 8 minus nothing. Just gonna bring it down. And get 869. So the answer to number 15 equals 869. So that's how you subtract these numbers. And now let's move on to word problems. We'll just do a quick question. Let's do number 2. It says, a baseball game started at 6:10 and ended at 9 o'clock. How long was the game? So we're trying to find the time in between 6:10 and 9 o'clock. So let's subtract 9 o'clock minus 6:10. If you look here, we can't do 0 minus 10. So what we're going to do is regroup, but in time. Because 9 is hours, we're going to change that into minutes. Remember, 1 hour equals 60 minutes. So if we take an hour here, it's going to turn into 60 minutes here. So now we have 60 minus 10 instead. Sorry, it's a little hard to see. But we have 60 minus 10. So 0 minus 0 equals 0. 6 minus 1 equals 5. Bring down the colon. Now since we took away an hour, it's going to become 8 instead of 9. 8 minus 6 equals 2. The hours is 2 hours, and the minutes is 50 minutes. So the game was actually 2 hours and 50 minutes long. And that's how you do this word problem. Lastly, let's go over centimeters or meters. The directions say to write either centimeters or meters to show what you would use to measure each object. And it gives the factor for converting. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So that means centimeters are smaller than meters because it takes 100 centimeters to fit into a meter. So with that being said, let's look at the length of your pencil. The length of your pencil is small enough to measure using centimeters. So we would write centimeters. A meter you can think of as big as if you stretch out your arms to the sides. That's around how big a meter is, maybe a little smaller, but you can use that as a reference. So now if you want to measure the length of a room, because the length of your room is very big, you would use meters instead because it's more convenient than using the tiny centimeters to measure the entire length of a room. And then lastly, the length of an ocean, which is much bigger than your room, you would use meters. So if it's bigger than the length of your arms, then you would use meters. If it's smaller, very small, then you would use centimeters. And that's how you do these questions. Thank you guys for watching.